Hello and welcome to all our viewers in Nigeria and around the world to News Cycle on Global Television, coming to you live from the nation's capital, Abuja. I am Mukhtar Kasim. A quick reminder that Global Television is on DSTV channel 365 and Star Times channel 276. We begin from the health sector, where the Nigerian Association of Resident Doctors has suspended its planned indefinite nationwide strike after receiving fresh commitment from the federal government on outstanding allowances, salary arrears, and training funding. The decision was announced in a communique issued at the end of an emergency National Executive NEC meeting held virtually. The communique, signed by the association's president, Dr. Mohammed Suleiman, and other top officials, followed renewed efforts to bring the engagement with key government stakeholders to fruition. In the meantime, President Bola Tinubu has reaffirmed Nigeria's commitment to strengthening bilateral ties with the United Kingdom. The president stated this during a meeting with a delegation from British Airways at its 90th anniversary celebration in Nigeria. Ubong Usoro reports.
The president commended British Airways for its long-standing presence in Nigeria and its contribution to the nation's aviation sector. He also appreciated the airline's hospitality during his recent visit to the United Kingdom, stressing the importance of strong partnerships in advancing economic and diplomatic relations.
The engagement confirmed the bilateral relations that we've enjoyed over the years. Our forebearer wanted us to continue. That is why we are still here, strengthening and promoting the relationship. We will continue that, I assure you.
British Airways, one of Nigeria's leading carriers, has operated in Nigeria for decades, connecting the country to global destination while supporting trade and tourism. The meeting comes as Nigeria intensifies efforts to strengthen international collaboration and attract investment. Ubong Usoro, Global TV News.
And Matriculation Board (JAMB) has debunked a UTME result slip circulating online, claiming a candidate scored 394, describing it as fake and misleading. The board spokesperson, Fabian Benjamin, said the document does not match the board's official format and stressed that results are currently only accessible through its verified view-only platform. The board urged the public to disregard the fabrication, noting that multiple inconsistencies, including an invalid registration format, exists in the document. Away from education, the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency (NDLEA) has intercepted 10,000 pills of Captagon and other illicit drugs in Kwara State during routine patrol operation. NDLEA's Director of Media and Advocacy, Femi Babafemi, said the drugs were recovered from a suspect, Nasiru Muazu, while a separate operation led to the arrest of Aminu Isa with large quantities of tramadol and other pharmaceuticals. The agency's chairman, Brigadier General Buba Marwa, described the seizure as a major disruption of dangerous drug pipeline linked to organized crime and insurgency across the country. Meanwhile, in many parts of the world, a girl's right to learn is still seen as optional rather than essential. Yet, when you educate a girl, you transform her future and the society around her. Our correspondent, Sadia Yakubu, takes a look at issues that affect not just families, but entire nation education of the girl child. Her reports.
Across the globe, more than 120 million girls are out of school. Poverty, early marriage, and cultural norms and poor infrastructure remain major barriers to their education. Behind each statistic is a name, a story, and a future waiting to be unlocked. According to reports from the United Nations Educational, Scientific, and Cultural Organization, every additional year a girl spends in school can raise her future earnings by up to 20%.
Of course, if you educate a single girl, it's like you have educated the entire society. And being a strong advocate of SDG 3 and SDG 4, I must tell you that we have already missed the way in Nigeria and especially in Arewa.
For the whole entire populace, education is very essential, particularly as you regarded to our female you are asking about now. Yeah. You know, if you train your daughter or a female child very well, you will enjoy it at later date. One, they are mothers, they take care of the children, they take care of the husband, the parents, and we can't do without a female child in society. Without female child, the system is not complete.
Girl child, I think there's this power every woman possesses that men cannot deny. And so many men are coming to realize it right now that it's very, very important to train their girl child.
In countries where girls complete secondary school, child mortality rates drop sharply. Educated women are also more likely to send their children to school, breaking cycles of poverty that have lasted generations.
When we educate girls, we empower future mothers, leaders, and entrepreneurs. The ripple effect goes far beyond the classroom. Initiatives like scholarship, safe transport, and mentorship programs are making education more accessible. Because when you educate a girl child, you don't just change her life, you change the world. Sadia Yakubu, Global Television.
In a country where the internet connects millions to jobs, education, health, and other opportunities, the rising cost of data may become a setback for national development. Now, in light of the spike in cost of internet connectivity that affects nearly every Nigerian, the silent impact might be unimaginable if critical policies are not put in place to regulate the sector from standpoint of checking arbitrary pricing. Our correspondent, Sadia Yakubu, takes a look at the high cost of data and its adverse impact on end users and files in this report.
Today is no longer news that Nigerians are struggling to survive in the midst of numerous economic challenges, with mobile network operators in the country systematically passing on operating costs of data consumers. In addition, the sudden increase on the cost of data subscription has gradually but steadily driven business, particularly those in the micro and small brackets, to the brink. At the height of this, questions are being asked to determine major factors driving this astronomical cost increase. We speak to a cross-section of Nigerians on the streets who share their views and experiences on this issue.
See, it's not easy for us. So, if, like 2 years back or 3 years back, when I use data, they enjoy the data. If you even buy like 5,000, you go use and they do watch YouTube, watch this. But now, just like I said, that they use straw, they suck it that.
Telecommunications operators recently made a strong case for an upward review of tariff cutting across calls, text messaging, and internet data services. These developments drawing criticism from subscribers as expected, seen at least 50% increase in this regard.
The cost is becoming so much that the normal Nigerian will not be able to afford. Please, the government should help us reduce it, and I think by that way, most little business that is trying to come up can go up.
Apparently, access to affordable internet is directly linked to economic growth, education, as well as success to robust healthcare services. It is often said that when people cannot afford data, they may not also be able to access knowledge, find remotely work, or sell online. As the maximum goes, the cost of data is the cost of opportunities.
It's crazy, especially when you're using an iPhone. The data finishes on time, but at least on Android, it's still manageable. But an iPhone user, no.
The digital world is here, but how many Nigerians can truly afford to be part of it? The cost of data isn't just about Naira and Kobo. It's about access, equality, and the future. Let's push for a Nigeria where everyone can connect without going broke. Sadia Yakubu here, Global Television.
In the live broadcast of News Cycle, News Cycle continues after this weather forecast plus business, foreign and sports stories on the other side of this break. Please stay with us.
Hello and a warm welcome to the weather forecast. We're seeing a steady and sustained influx of moisture moving inland and reaching as high as latitude 12 degrees north. There's also a rise in dew point temperatures. So yes, conditions are favorable for weather activities in most parts of the country. For the morning hours, parts of rivers Akwa Ibom, Cross River, Adamawa and Taraba states will likely experience morning thunderstorms. But the bulk of the weather activities are expected later during the day, as most parts of the southern region will experience thunderstorms. Isolated thunderstorms in the north central as well as parts of Kaduna, Bauchi, Gombe, Adamawa and Taraba states. That's the forecast for Sunday. I am Theodora Itzum. Thank you for watching.
From that break, and if you're just tuning in, this is the live broadcast of News Cycle on Global Television. We now head to business news, where a renewed push for local manufacturing is taking center stage in Nigeria's industrial landscape as indigenous firms step up efforts to reduce reliance on imported goods. In this exclusive interview with Global Television, the Chief Executive Officer of Aerogym Group, Jimmy Ntwen, outlines how his company is expanding production in garments to boost job creation and strengthen the economy. Anita Patrick reports.
At a time when Nigeria is seeking to diversify its economy and conserve foreign exchange, Aerogym Group is positioning itself as a key driver of local production. The company's chief executive officer says its expansion is aimed at curbing the influx of substandard imported products while delivering high-quality alternatives. Ntwings also highlights the critical role of financial institutions in supporting private sector growth, commending development banks for backing expansion efforts.
Nothing in your life is easy. You must have some challenges in life. Any life that is smooth is not a real life, it will not last long. So we are making sure that we get the right things for the country, and we also create jobs. People don't have to be as PhD holders to succeed in life. So with job creation, we can find somebody tomorrow. People working with us will have more bigger than what we have today, because our intention is everybody should expand the industry in the country.
Beyond production, Aerogym is also investing in human capital development, training workers, including inmates in correctional facilities, to equip them with vocational skills. The company says it provides fair wages, accommodation, and a conducive working environment while promoting inclusivity with significant female participation in its workforce. He stresses that stronger partnership between manufacturers and financiers will be key to scaling production and boosting exports.
What we're trying to do is to see how we can reduce importing of all these substandard things coming in from outside to the country. We try to do very high quality, because if a man dresses very well, it makes him very serious in his job. He knows that his dressing matters a lot.
With plans to expand across regions and tap into export markets, Aerogym Group says its mission is clear: build a globally competitive Made in Nigeria brand while driving industrial growth at home. Anita Patrick, Global TV News.
Foreign exchange has recorded a total of 3.8 billion shares valued at 213.95 billion naira, traded in 297,202 deals over the past week. According to the NGX Weekly Markets Report, this reflects a 6.05% increase compared to the previous week's performance in both volume and value of transactions. The all-share index and the market capitalization also rose by 3.94%. closing at 255,722.49 points and 145,355 trillion naira, respectively. The Nigeria Electricity Regulatory Commission has paid a total of 155.84 million naira as credit adjustment to electricity customers in 2025, following the resolution of billing-related complaints across the country's power sector. An analysis of the Commission's quarterly report showed that the refunds were issued in tranches through the year as distribution companies resolved verified billing and related disputes raised by consumers. The refunds were tied directly to complaints lodged through the Commission's Customers Complaint Unit, a mechanism established under the Electricity Act 2023 to ensure consumer protection and enforce accountability among power distribution companies. And now to the oil sector, where the Nigerian Upstream Petroleum Regulatory Commission has urged members of the Crude Oil Refinery Owners Association of Nigeria to consider acquiring oil blocks in upcoming licensing rounds as a long-term solution to crude supply challenges. The Commission's Chief Executive, Orishimewa Eison, made the call during a recent courtesy visit by Quorum members to the NUPRC headquarters in Abuja, where both parties discussed ways to strengthen domestic refining capacity and ensure sustainable crude supply. She assured the refiners that Nigeria has adequate crude resource to meet domestic refining needs and reiterated the Commission's commitment to policies that promote in-country value additions. And now to news making rounds on the foreign scene. Mali's defense minister Sadio Kamara has been killed in a coordinated wave of attacks targeting military installations across the country. Military sources said the minister died after a vehicle-borne explosive detonated outside his residence in Kati during simultaneous assaults by rebel and terrorist groups. The attacks mark a major escalation in violence, with ongoing clashes reported in several regions, including the Kidal province. Over now to the United States, where panic struck heart of the U.S. Capitol last night as Secret Service agents rushed President Donald Trump off stage during the annual White House Correspondents Association's dinner. Our correspondent Kabir Hassan reports on the security breach that has sent shockwaves across the globe.
It was meant to be a night of celebration, but the atmosphere shattered as hundreds of guests sat for dinner. A gunman identified as a 31-year-old Cole Thomas Allen burst through a security perimeter armed with a shotgun, a handgun, and knives. Panic swept the ballroom as the guests dived under tables, while tactical teams with weapons drawn swarmed the stage to evacuate the commander-in-chief. Donald Trump said he was grateful for the quick response of the security personnel, describing the incident as an attack by a would-be assassin.
It's always shocking when something like this happens. Happened to me. And I heard a noise and sort of thought it was a tray. I thought it was a tray going down. You know, I've heard that many times, and it was a pretty loud noise. And it was from quite far away. He hadn't breached the area at all. They really got him. But so it was quite far away, but it was a gun. The man has been captured. They're going to his apartment, and we don't want things like this to happen. I think it's very important that it was really based on free speech and our Constitution. But I said very importantly that we'll do it again within the next 30 days, and we'll make it bigger and better and even nicer.
He added that he was safe and thanked law enforcement and emergency responders for their swift action during the chaos. The Washington police chief confirmed that law enforcement engaged the suspect in a gunfire exchange during the incident. A U.S. Service chief officer was hit in the vest but survived the impact as he was taken to a nearby hospital and is reported to be in a stable condition and in good spirit.
The defendant will be arraigned on Monday in federal district court. But make no mistake, There will be many more charges based upon the information that we are learning in this very fluid situation. Thank you.
What leaders condemn the violence, the FBI continues to piece together on how heavily an armed man managed to inflate one of the most high-profile events in the United States Capitol. Cole Thomas Allen is suspected to be arraigned in court tomorrow on multiple federal charges, as President Trump confirmed new date for the gala event. Kabir Hassan, Global TV News.
President Donald Trump has cancelled his envoy's visit to Pakistan for negotiations, saying Iran did not make a satisfactory offer for a peace deal. Trump's announcement followed the departure of Iran's Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi from Pakistan, where he presented mediators with a potential framework for ending the conflict. Iran's President Masoud Pezeshkian has told Pakistan's Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif that Tehran will not enter into negotiations with the US under pressure, threats, or siege. Israeli attacks have killed at least 4 persons in southern Lebanon's Nabatia district as Israel continues to pummel the country in defiance of a 3-week extension of a ceasefire with Hezbollah. In a statement, Lebanon Minister of Public Health Emergency Operations Center said 2 Israeli raids on a truck and a motorcycle in the town of Yomor al-Shakif killed 4 people. Reports say the said attacks were carried out in the north of the Tilani River, below which Israel has unilaterally declared to operate. And now talking sports, President Bola Tinubu has congratulated Nigerian-American basketball player Ejimofor Anosike for his outstanding performance in the 2026 China National Basketball League Championship. Tinubu, in a statement by his special advisor on information and strategy, Bayo Onanuga, described the achievement as a reflection of discipline, resilience, and exceptional talent. Anosike led the Hong Kong Bulls to victory while also winning multiple individual awards, including Finals MVP and Best International Player. Super Eagles head coach Eric Chile has raised concerns over his contract situation with the Nigeria Football Federation amidst ongoing negotiations. Chile told journalists that his agent is currently in discussion with the Nigeria Football Federation (NFF) over a possible new agreement despite his contract running until 2027. The coach remains focused on upcoming fixtures including the Unity Cup and international friendlies. Now to athletics, where Kenya's Sebastian Sawe has won the London Marathon in a historic performance, becoming the first to break the 2-hour mark in an official race. Race officials confirmed Sawe finished in 1 hour, 59 minutes, 30 seconds ahead of Ethiopia's Yomif Kelechi and Uganda's Jacob Kiplimo. The race also saw Tigst Assefa set a new women's only world record, highlighting a landmark day in the marathon. Nigeria's under-17 women's team, the Flamingos, opened their preparation for the 2026 FIFA Under-17 Women's World Cup qualifiers with a dominant 6-0 victory over Generation Next in Abuja, as head coach Akeem Ishola Busari continues to shape his squad. The emphatic win came during a 60-minute friendly at the Goal Project, where the Flamingos took control early and led 4-0 at half-time, before the match was halted in the 54th minute due to heavy rain. Goals were spread across the squad, with Shaviv Istefanos opening the scoring inside the first minute, followed by a brace from Tobiloba Sarafa in the 10th minute and the 23rd minute. That's it on News Cycle. A quick reminder that Global Television is on DSTV channel 365 and Star Times channel 276. Kindly follow us across all our social media platforms now showing on the screen using at Global TV NG. I am Mukhtar Kasim. Saying a very big thank you for watching.